Welcome everyone, this is Virginia Hampson, Stamp Out Your Art with Virginia, or Wordgy 101 as I'm known online. Today I'm going to show you how to create this beautiful effect using vellum, alcohol and Stampin' Blends and a paintbrush. So to start with, I cut down an A4 sheet of vellum and I'm just putting a piece of white behind it so you can actually see it, because it's a little bit dark if I have it with the black. So, and at the end of this, when it's finished, I'm going to glue the white to the back of it so that it stands out nice and bright, because this is the effect that we want, and that's what I've done with this. So to start with, the alcohol, isopropyl alcohol that you need, it's not the one in the green bottle isocol, because that's only about 70%. You need this one. This is available, I believe, from places like Big W, Woolworths. I haven't seen it in the supermarket, but this big bottle I got from Bunnings, and I think it was about $9, so that's a 500 mils. So and it comes with a pump. So what I did was I had this little tiny bottle and I just used a pipette and sucked them up and put it into the bottle, because that's just way too big to use and it would evaporate. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to use the same colors just in this demonstration so you can see how I got this effect. So what I've got first is the darker of the two Stampin' Blends in Bermuda Bay, and I'm going to use the brush tip end, and you don't have to be precise in this, and do kind of a circle and just color it in like that on your piece of vellum. Next, I'm going to get, now I know that Stampin' Up doesn't have this anymore, but I do know you can still get things like this online. It's basically to blow air around, and if you can't find something like this, and this is a bit cumbersome because usually you put markers in the tip of this to spritz, but you can use I think it's an ear cleaner. It's rubber. You can buy it from your local pharmacy, and it's just like almost that shape but more bulbous, and you just squeeze it and it blows air. See, blows air, and that's the effect that you want. You can either use an empty aqua painter brush or a ordinary paintbrush. Now I'm using this one. It's easy to dip, and what I'm going to do is dip it into my icicle and drop it, and you'll see it start to spread. As soon as you drop it, start blowing on it. I'll try not to cover up where I'm working. Let me move it over a little bit, and just keep dripping onto it and blowing it, and see how it's spreading. I hope you can make out what I'm doing, and I hope my hand isn't in the way. I've done this technique for many years, but I just haven't played around with it for a long time. See how it dries pretty quick. It's quite warm here today in Sydney, so have to work quickly. Doesn't matter if you get a bit of the alcohol marker color on your paintbrush, because it'll wash off pretty easy. See how that's spread? And I'm just going to keep dropping more of it in the center to blow it out, because you'll end up with a kind of a flower, stylistic kind of flower pattern, I hope, with petals. I'll just keep going not a good idea to have a fan going. I don't have one going at the moment. I have my front door open because this is one of the very few dry days we've had in Sydney in the last month, so I'm making the most of being able to have the front door open. So can you see how that, whoopsie, see how that's moving around? Now, because I want to add a bit of yellow into the center, I'm going to put quite a bit in the middle of the alcohol and blow that ink out. I'll add some more. I'll just keep adding it. And you can't go too far. If you've realized you've moved too much of the ink, just grab your pen, your blend, and put a few more blobs on there, and then add the ink. So the idea is to make like a stylized flower. Now in the center, see how I've left that? I might add a little bit more here, blow that in, and there we go. So that's kind of looking like a flower. Then I'm just going to grab some of this dark Daffodil Delight and scribble that in the center. Now if your color gets onto your pen, just wipe it off onto your scratch paper or your grid paper. Now I'm just going to add a tiny bit of the rubbing alcohol into the center of this. One dot, and it spreads really fast, so you have to work a little bit quickly. And I do want a little bit more yellow in that, so I'm going to add a bit more. But if you can tell from this, I'll hold it up a bit closer in a second. I think you'll find this is basically what the designers at Stampin'Up did to come up with their gorgeous artistic papers that are in the current annual catalogue. If you haven't got any of those yet, new catalogue time is coming up soon, so don't miss out. Get those papers before there's none left. Okay, nearly done. A little bit more. Right, let's hold that up a little bit closer so you can see. So it's quite dark on the black, but with the white behind it. There we go. I'll just stand up to make sure you can see that. How cool is that? So this is how I ended up with this. You can choose whatever colors you like in the blends. So what I'm going to do is I'll finish this off and turn this into 2 card fronts. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do the same exact color scheme as the other one, but you can also use your glue. Now you can use this one, but the nozzle is not very fine. Now I know this is not a Stampin'Up product, but this is the one that I used, and it's like a ballpoint pen. As you can see, there we go. There. On this one, let me just tilt that, so there you go, so you can see just here I've just drawn lines with the glue and then waited for it to go almost completely dry, tacky, and then I got the beautiful gold leafing flakes and sprinkled those over, and a stiff brush once it was dry, sort of like this, not real stiff, and brushed it all off. And that's how I ended up with this gorgeous, beautiful gold leafing effect that you can see on this card. So thanks for watching. Give it a go. It's not hard, it's fun, and no 2 projects ever turn out the same. Till next time, bye bye.